So, best of both. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like you can have your cake and eat it too. That makes sense to me. With drones, it's all about how much air you can control. And with a bigger prop, it means that I can move more air with the same amount of energy. So that just gives me more efficiency in more hectic situations like you might find offshore. Moving to a bigger, more powerful drone seems like the logical next step. But for me, it's also about moving into a different type of airframe and getting as much experience with different types of setups as I can. The Nazgul was excellent, but I needed to move on to something different, and something bigger and more powerful just made a lot of sense too. The BOB57 has some upgrades over the Nazgul that I was looking forward to taking advantage of. Firstly, the battery connection's in a totally different position. It's towards the front of the drone. I think this will allow for bigger batteries, obviously, but also for more slack with the battery and just more firmness with that connection. Obviously, that's what made the Nazgul fall out of the sky. Well, that's what I'm working with anyway. So to fix that problem was a big first step. Only time will tell if the battery is actually an issue, but the bigger batteries is definitely an upgrade in its own. The other major upgrade is the antennas. This has a dual antenna system for the VTX, so I'm hoping this will give me longer range and just better stability overall. Any of the new drones I would have bought at the moment would have had the DJI O3 air unit. This drone is just better set up for long range cruising. The Nazgul was probably better set up for freestyle. So I think this is a good swap for the type of flying that I'm looking to do with it. Both the Nazgul and the BOB57 are built excellently. iFlight have done a really good job of making a really solid airframe. I'm sure the Bob will stand up to my terrible piloting skills, but only time will tell. The Bob also has a GPS unit. I won't be setting that up for now, but in the future that may help me when I'm flying out over the ocean. Getting the Bob set up out of the box is pretty much the same as the Nazgul. So if you want any instruction on that, go back and watch my video on the Nazgul. It's pretty much exactly the same. The only thing I've done differently in this setup is had to set up the DJI Goggles 3. That will give me a better picture, but it's pretty much the same setup as before. Just do all the upgrades and then the really easy binding option by holding down the power. So with this new configuration, I'm hoping to get a lot longer range and a lot more integrity with my signal. That will just help to give extra confidence when flying, and that's always a good thing. So before I take the Bob out over the ocean, I'm going to go take it on a maiden flight over solid land. After our last incident, that's only reasonable. I don't want to have any incidents like last time. I can't afford to lose this drone. This drone's actually even more expensive than the last one. So fingers crossed everything goes well. But let's send it. So the first battery I'm going to run through today is the Tattoo R-Line 1800 milliamp hour. It's about 2 years old, this battery, and I haven't looked after it perfectly, but still feels pretty good. So we're just going to test or see how spongy it is today. One of the things that we noticed when the Nazgul crashed was that the battery slipped. At the moment I'm just running the standard iFlight battery pad here. In the future I'm going to get the more sticky ones that are more like gecko feet. I think that'll help them to stop sliding around. But that's something I really want to work on. We'll do that next time though. Well, done that fully wrong way around. Used to the Nazgul. Bob's got it at the front here. That's good. It's really important to get the right positioning. Even without a sticky pad, it's still going to make a difference how you mount it with those two straps. So that feels quite firm there. I'm not going to go too crazy at the moment. This is more about a battery stress test and a range test. So this should be fine for now. Alrighty. Well, I'm very excited today to be here at FPV Park. It's been a long time coming. I've had the BOB57 here for about 14 months and it hasn't even seen the sky once. So there's plenty of excuses, plenty of reasons why, but really we don't need to get into that. It's really about seeing what this drone can do. So there's a few aspects of this drone that are really important. as I just spoke about with the battery, that slipping issue we're going to address with an extra sticky pad and really conscious tightening before flight. So that's something that I can do pre-flight and getting in preparation style. But the other things that have changed over the last few years since I started flying is some of the technology. So this drone's carrying the O3 air unit, and I have now the Goggles 3. The Goggles 3 are a more integrated system with higher quality displays and hopefully with better range. So that's why I'm here at FPV Park, because I know this place quite well. It has a good amount of interference, and I should be able to see how this compares to the previous Caddx and DJI air units I've used previously. So I'm quite excited to test that. I've also got some older batteries that I'm sort of going through and testing there, and also just generally testing everything, because it hasn't been used much. As I said, there's been lots of distractions. So really this is about getting back into the driver's seat or the pilot's cockpit and getting used to flying again. So I'm really excited, nervous and enthusiastic to get this happening again. So it's a nice clear day, there's no one around. So let's see what we can do. So yeah, it's very exciting. Lots of new things to show you. I don't know really where to start, so I think I'm just going to get prepared and send it on its first flight, see what happens. So I only set up the drone again about a month ago with all the new tech, with the new goggles, and just making sure that the controller was still calibrated and everything. So that happened about a month ago, so hopefully everything's still where it needs to be. All right, I'll turn the GoPro on. Pretty straightforward. Plug the drone in. Watch that get me. I'll just put it over here a bit further because I think that's a bit safer. Just hit record on the old GoPro there. Oh, pretty nervous. Better turn the goggles on. Well, that should give the drone plenty of time to warm up. Now just a quick scan. There was a drone over here doing some real estate photos before. He was at about 100 meters, 60 to 100 meters. I'm going to be well below that. So yeah, should be ready to go, I think. Well, it's nice and clear in here. All right. It's definitely flying. So just going to do a quick scan of the oval first. Like I said, I know it pretty well, and with the better goggles, we get a good idea of who's here at the moment, and also just test out the. Oh wow, it's much better. So much clearer. Yeah, that's fantastic. Have to ignore those, I think.
Telemetry recovered.
Yeah, it says, and it's not too fast. I thought it would be a lot faster. Also sort of deciding and figuring out how to read these new measurements on the screen. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, the 22 volt down the bottom there. Got 50 megabits. I do feel a bit clumsy on the sticks though, so we'll take it easy. Feels like, oh, maybe it's in angle mode. Yeah, it is. Oh. I turned it off for some stupid reason.
Telemetry lost. Hey Doc, can you have a look at my idiot friend here?
Well, that's a great example there as to what not to do. Definitely a rookie error there. So just had my first official flight with the BOB57. Everything went successful except for the fact that I decided to disarm the motors mid-flight, trying to look for the turning off the angle button, which I don't think I bound. So a couple of rookie errors there. So today I won't really get to test the flight dynamics of the drone, but I can test the VTX, I can test the batteries, I can get used to the sticks a bit more and just getting the feel again. So it's not a lost cause, but it's still taken a little bit of the glory out of the first test. But I'm going to continue on. I've got 3 more batteries, and it's a beautiful day, so may as well make the most of it. So here goes. Also, got to be careful, there's a homeless person living in one of the trees out there. I don't know if you've seen him. So as you can see, there's a few scuff marks there, and the props are a little bent. So I'll bend them back. It's a nice warm day, so that shouldn't be too hard. That's probably what's taken most of the weight, which is good. Motor seems fine. So yeah, just clean it off, turn that off, give the old ND filter a bit of a wipey. As I said, it might be an angle mode, but we'll just deal with that for now. I'll see if I can turn it off while it's on the ground. Yep, definitely appears that the drone's in angle mode, and it won't come out of angle mode for now until I get home and put it into beta flight. So we'll just do some battery tests for now. Get used to the sticks. All right. So I'll still be able to test the VTX range and battery durability. I'm obviously not getting much of an idea of how the drone actually flies in angle mode though. It's obviously super steady in this mode. The VTX is super clear, very easy to control.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Still feels a little wobbly in places. I'm glad I definitely came here. Alright, so I've got a smaller battery in here now. This is a 1300 milliamp battery. So about 30% smaller. So it'll be interesting to just see how this affects flight time, and also just to see if it's spongy after 2 years of in use or unuse, whatever the correct term is there. Alright, time for the second flight.
Welcome to Tango 2.
Alright, let's make sure we're recording. Yeah. Alright. So I've positioned myself somewhere a bit cooler. It was really hot over there. So got 2 more batteries, and as I said, I'll just be feeling it out. It's good to be flying again. It's hard to know how to judge the drone yet. I don't want to say too much, but in this angle mode, I don't feel it's as responsive as I'd like it to be, but I'm not judging it on that. So at the moment, just testing battery, camera, transmission, and just overall tolerance for me. Hoo-wee. All right, so that's 2 down. 2 down, 2 to go. There's another small battery, another 1300 milliamp battery. Rinse and repeat, really. All right.
Telemetry recovered.
Let's do it. Set that position right, go back. And let's go see where this dog is. I didn't realize it until I got home and started editing, but the GoPro had stopped recording halfway through the flight, so I didn't get the end of the flight or anything that happened. So I got to keep my eye on that. The last battery I have to test here is the most important one. Nowadays, you can't get the tattoo batteries that I've been using. You can pretty much only get these GoPro ones. They're a graphene battery apparently. And my only experience is using these on the Carnarvon trip on the pusher drone, and I felt that they were very spongy and underpowered, and hence I crashed into the dust and that drone no longer works. So I'm going to go very easy with this one. This is a 1500 milliamp battery, so it sort of sits in the middle of the range as to sort of duration and size, but it should be enough to power this drone. And it'll just be interesting to see how well it does. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's give it a go. Send it. Let's get it in there, eh? Seems all good so far. So plug it all in. All right, let's get in there and have a look. This actually seems way better. Already I can tell this is better. Well, for now anyway. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, much more stable. Much better. Much better. Much better. There we go. So the GoPro turned off again. I've gone in since I've been home and checked the settings to see if it was turning off after a certain amount of duration using the auto stop setting. That's not the case, so it's obviously just turning off halfway through the flight. There's not much I can really do about that. That's really disappointing because obviously if you can't trust the main camera and you're doing something that's taking a lot of time and effort and organization, you don't really want the camera failing out on you. So I've got to keep a close eye on this, and yeah, this is disappointing to say the least. So coming out here today had a lot of different purposes. First and foremost was to finally fly after 14 months the BOB57. There's no excuses for waiting that long, but everything happens for a reason, and this is where we are. But today was fun. I guess the first lesson I learned is that before you come out on a day like today for testing, make sure you can at least turn angle mode on and off. I've been stuck in angle mode today, which has been a bit of disappointment because I can't test the drone dynamics, the flight dynamics, but I was able to test the other critical components, the battery being one of them. I can 100% say that this new battery, this GoPro battery, outperforms those old tattoo batteries, mainly due to age, I would assume. but you could definitely notice the responsiveness, the difference. And when you're out flying over the ocean, that's going to be a critical issue, I think. So batteries and battery pads in the coming future will definitely be on the purchasing list, on the shopping list. So that's great knowledge to know. In that previous last flight, you'll see that the RX dropped out. I've purposely tucked myself in here behind some trees, and then I flew behind some more trees at a bit of a distance, and that was able to totally disconnect the drone. I've done that here before, so that stayed pretty consistent. Obviously, it's the same Crossfire RX-TX system there, so yeah, I can't say that surprises me, but good to know. And also just the clarity of the new goggles, it's amazing. You can definitely see better. That gives you the confidence when you go through something, but there's an element of intimidation that it also brings because everything looks so crystal clear. You don't get that fog of war that could sometimes be handy, I believe. But overall, it's been a good day. Been better prepared and just feeling the sticks again, it's been good. But the only thing that I would be disappointed about today was not being able to turn off angle mode. But overall, great success.